This is the KoperCrabb Podcast.
I'm Cheney Crab.
I am Naveen Copperweiss.
Shout out to all the Golden Lobsters out there, or those of you who have not yet opted into the Golden Lobster GL program.
A lot of people have been jumping on the GL program.
I think so, yeah. People are really taking to this new Golden Lobster moniker.
I love it. I love it.
So if you missed last week's episode, then you do not yet know that we have implemented a KoperCrabb Podcast hotline. So
that's right, hotline.
If you want to submit a question to the podcast, of course, you can still email us at KoperCrabbPodcast@gmail.com, or you can call in to 615-420-7342. You can also text that number. We just found out a few minutes ago.
We just figured out that you can shoot texts over to the KoperCrabb hotline.
Yeah.
And who knows, you might get a text back.
You might get a text back.
From one of us.
A freaky deaky text back.
The producer of the podcast might text you back.
Also, so we have a bunch of tour exclusives that we put up into our Big Cartel merch store, which we're going to put a link in the description. All of that stuff is sent by me. So if you're ordering from the Big Cartel, I'm sending everything. You can write us notes. We always write back. There's a bunch of cool shit that we took on Tech Trek there that I don't think we'll be taking on our next run.
No.
Maybe one or two. But so go grab that stuff. It is completely for you guys right now. We haven't announced it on the band pages. So you guys get stuff about a week and a half in advance in this case. So go grab stuff before it sells out, because I know we are running low on a few shirts.
Everyone's probably going to wonder about the jerseys too. We don't sell jerseys.
We do not sell jerseys. These are Merseys. So shout out to Murray, who has been making his rounds getting sick jerseys made for everyone. We got these a couple of months ago. I think we wore them already, but
yeah, I've never worn the basketball one.
Oh, you haven't? Yeah.
And I am number 1, by the way.
He's number 1. I'm number 12 in honor of my late grandfather, who was 12X. My grandpa's an Iowa sprint car racing legend.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know.
Jerry Crab.
Yep.
The first crab to do it.
Is there any videos of that exist?
Yeah, I think so. I think you can go onto YouTube and look up videos of him.
Wow, we'll have to do that.
Yeah, I know.
Sometime.
Right? If you guys don't know what sprint cars are, they're those weird cars that like have little wings on the top of them, racing cars.
Yeah, they're like wings that are asymmetrical, right?
Yeah.
Like one's going up and one's going down.
I don't know. I don't know that much about fucking sprint cars.
Well, I remember we had a neighbor when I was a kid who their family was like sprint car people.
In California, there are sprint car people?
Yeah, there are
rednecks.
That's I was trying to find
California redneck.
Yeah, there's actually a lot.
My grandfather was not a redneck. He just liked to race and work on cars and do all of that stuff. But I mean,
honestly, that's why a big part of why we're not trying to be derogatory here, but I feel like I'm just fine fitting in here in the South.
You got redneck in your blood.
Well, it's like, Santa Cruz and in the Santa Cruz mountains and stuff, you kind of have or people that are into like
they're like mountain
boating,
like
four-wheeling and
totally
drinking beer, that kind of a thing.
I have thought quite a few times about how our old neighbor, who now lives in our old house, actually would really fit in Tennessee.
Yeah, he'd be thriving here.
Totally,
for sure.
Santa Cruz has a lot of like Tennessee type.
Well, there's mountains there.
Flat-billed dudes.
Yeah, there's mountains there, so there's kind of a little bit of a mountainous culture, if you will.
Yeah, totally.
Which I'm totally down for. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Me too. I like places like that. I mean, we're out here thriving in Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, haven't thought about it one time.
One of my favorite places ever. I love Tennessee. So
trying to make that clear that we really like it here.
We love rednecks, everyone. Yeah. Redneck is not being used slanderously here. We are down as
I'm
fuck.
aspiring, okay? I've been mowing the lawn
Naveen
quite
loves
a bit.
Mowing. You're really good at it too. You're getting the hang of mowing.
It takes a while to get the hang of it, totally.
But by the time you get the hang of it, you're like sick of mowing.
Yeah.
At first, it's all cute. Naveen was out there with a Bud or whatever, Bud Light.
putting beer. Well, the mower has a cup holder.
I know. What do they think you're going to drink when you're on a fucking lawnmower?
Well, sometimes I put my Buc-ee's ice water in there.
Oh.
So that's a good thing.
Maybe they think you're going to drink ice water.
Probably. Well, it gets really hot out there. So
that's true. Do you remember last week when I woke up and went outside and looked to my left and there was just a deer eating some of our plants?
Yeah.
Luckily, we're not like obsessive garden people. Otherwise, we might have hurt the deer.
Oh, like, get the heck out of here. Yeah. I mean, it was like basically on our porch.
No, it was. Yeah, right off to the left. It scared me.
Yeah.
But there's a huge animal population around us. And so a few weeks ago we were talking about this, about how our cat caught a bunny, and we got a comment about it on the video about how populations are dwindling and it's horrible. Yeah. But I think this person may have been confused and thought we were still in California.
Yeah.
So here it is not like California.
I think it's kind of like the opposite. Like there isn't predators. So there's just like tons of
bunnies and deer running. We see deer every single day running through our neighborhood.
I mean, the other day we saw a group of 5 deer probably run across the street. Mm-hmm. And then we were talking to our friends up the road. And they're saying that sometimes they see groups of 10 to 20 deers.
Yeah.
So, or deer.
Deer. It's deer. Deer is the plural. That's why English is such a weird language, you know?
But
I mean, I don't know another language, so I can't really compare it, but all of the slang in the English language, well, that's not even slang.
It's hard to
keep up.
It's hard to keep up.
It's hard for my grandma to keep up with me.
Oh, your slang.
Once I moved to California, my slang was so thick that my grandma will say, what? Like every
I actually
couple
find
of
it
minutes
interesting that you don't try to like leave out slang when you're talking to your grandma.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't leave out slang when I'm talking to anyone.
That's true.
Or cuss words.
I know that. Like when I'm talking to my grandma, I'm keeping it really straightforward.
When I'm talking
to
your grandma,
trying to be as old timey as I can.
Just trying to keep it old timey for the old timers.
I'm like, shucks.
I'm of a firm belief that I should treat everyone the same.
Yeah, you think
no
so?
matter how old they are, no matter how old timey they are.
Yeah, that works.
So I'm just over here kicking it.
I just don't like when people get mad at me.
Keeping it Cheney.
Yeah.
Keeping it 100.
But yeah, so there's maybe the bird populations are a problem, but cats killing all the birds.
Could be.
I have heard that. We did get a multicolored necklace for Pappy, which we haven't put on him yet.
That's true.
So he could not catch birds.
He got this little rainbow. It looks like a rainbow scrunchie that we're going to put
it's
around
like a rainbow
the collar.
Bib.
Yeah.
And apparently the reason why birds are always getting taken out by cats is because they can't see them coming. So if it has a rainbow thing on it, it'll fly away. So
birds just have horrible eyesight? You wouldn't think that because it's a bird's eye view?
I think they have good eyesight, but
just not for cats.
For some reason, the cats blend in, because they're earth tone usually.
Cats got them.
But anyway, I don't know. It hasn't seemed like it's a problem here. I mean, there's like hundreds of birds all around all the time.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, you were, I think, on the phone with your brother or someone, and didn't they make a remark about how it seemed like you were in a jungle because they could hear all of the bird chatter
They're
going
like,
on
it sounds
behind
like you're in a jungle because I was out back in the backyard.
It honestly does feel like a jungle here. You see, in Santa Cruz, it feels like a tropical jungle. It's humid. There are bugs everywhere. There are bugs crawling around. There are mosquitoes everywhere. I'm constantly like finding fire ants and weird red spider creatures that have just taken over the land.
Dude, those. So I'm wondering if those are problematic. It kind of
too.
looks like a mix between a ladybug and a spider.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them. I mean, when you see it, you go, "Whoa, that's kind of a lot of bugs." I'm a little bit concerned.
No, there really are. I kicked aside a rock.
Oh yeah,
in our backyard last week, and they just were. There were thousands of them coming out of the rock.
You should have seen what it looked like when I finally moved those bags of leaves.
Oh yeah. Naveen had a bag.
Like,
so we're learning. Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do yard work or any of that type of stuff in California because
there's no yard work.
There's no yard work. There are not yards where we work.
Well, we had some space, but there's not the maple trees or the trees that a lot of leaves fall off of.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't have grass.
No, it was all mulch.
I mean, you just kind of there, whatever.
It's a much different lifestyle there.
Yeah.
You know, California is always in a water shortage, so there's not really the lawn thing
like
going on.
Yeah, if you have a lawn, you have to water it.
Right.
Whereas here, the Lord waters it.
The Lord waters it.
It just falls out of the sky.
So someone coming from California to Tennessee might see the yards and have like a total freak out.
No, a friend of ours did come to Tennessee a long time ago.
I would call him a friend of yours.
Long time ago. And was like, wow, man, they're just wasting so much drinking water on these lawns. And we were looking at him like,
dude,
what is,
bro,
dude?
You've been in California too long, brother.
Because then you could easily look around and there's just grass everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they'll just be along the sidewalk. There's just like it's all grass. I mean, I was driving down the road and I was thinking about that statement, and there's literally grass everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
So the idea that someone would have to water all that grass, it's impossible.
Right. But here, rain.
There's just grass.
There's
and
rain.
Yeah, rain. It's
which
another
is
thing.
Crazy. Torrential downpours.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Me too.
I missed that aspect of living in the middle of the country. I missed that there were lightning storms every so often and thunderstorms and rain and just weather.
Yeah.
Because you don't get a lot of that in the Bay Area. You get gray, wind, breaks of sun, and sometimes rain. But if it rains super hard, that's like...
It feels weird.
Yeah, maybe once a year.
And you don't get hot nights, which is...
No.
If anybody knows me, they know that I love summer.
Yeah.
Summer guy.
Yeah. Next to summer guy in the dictionary, it's a picture of Naveen.
And I'm always freaking like pissed off that I never get a proper summer.
That's true.
Like in Santa Cruz, we get some really nice days for sure. Like when the weather's like hitting in Santa Cruz,
it's gorgeous.
It's the best.
Yeah.
But it's just so infrequent. And then it gets cold at night no matter what.
Yeah, and the sun always hits around 1. It's gone by 4.
Yeah.
You never get that like hankering to go to the pool. Yeah. You're never like, damn, I really want to get in a swimming pool.
All right. So we've been having a little party excursion, right, Cheney?
Yeah, like a party weeks.
And I love when it's apart. Like the sun's going down and you go outside, you're about to go to dinner and go hit the town, and it's warm out.
That's what keeps me wanting. That's what keeps me wanting to party. Like it's hard for me in the afternoon to not go, oh, I really could do with a cocktail right now.
I know. That's the thing. So I associate this type of weather with being on vacation, because when I was a kid, we would go see my grandparents in Florida, and then after that, we'd started going to my uncle's and aunt's house in New Jersey, which is on the Jersey Shore. So it would always be this type of weather, summer, like humid and hot. So for me, when I'm in this weather, I just think of being on vacation and like drinking beer and sitting around and not doing anything. So I'm going through a bit of a learning curve living in it, because you can't do that all the time.
Totally.
You gotta get to work.
Oh yeah. I mean, and the summer, when the summer comes around, you see the people who haven't been in nice weather all year, it's time to go. It's like, all right, now it's time to go boating.
Yeah,
time
everyone's
to
on the lake and having
get
fun.
out. Yeah, everyone is we live by a lake, and there's every day when we drive by it, there are more people out there on boats.
Yeah, now I want to go out there right now.
I'm trying to rent a pontoon.
This is fucked up.
But the other night we were looking at pontoon rentals.
I looked it up. It's like a lot of money. It's $350.
Yeah, but that's for 8 hours.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We probably should. Well, I was thinking if you brought, so you can have up to 10 people on it.
Oh,
so bring
$30 a pop.
Yeah, $35 a head.
10 people on a pontoon though. You're asking for trouble on that one.
Yeah.
We're just going to have to wait for our friend's kid to grow a little older so she can drive us around the lake. We can all party.
Yeah. So how does that work? If you get a boat, if you rent a boat, and I know everyone wants to drink on there, does there have to be a DD? Or is it kind of like a don't ask, don't tell situation?
It's illegal. There, I don't know about here, but there are lake police officers. That used to be a show. Which
really?
We were watching. Okay, what were we watching last night?
Airline. Airline, dude.
It was a show about essentially people who were getting denied to be on planes. Most of them were too drunk. And I just realized they've made a reality series about literally everything that you can do.
Yeah.
Flying on a plane and getting kicked off of a plane, that's a huge anxiety.
Yeah.
So to make an entire show about that.
Smart.
I don't know. I feel like I'm living in an airport, like trying to get on a plane, and they're denying me. They keep kicking me off.
Totally. Well, it's part of our mindless TV watching at night.
Well, what's funny is that every single person who is getting kicked off the plane has the same reaction. They all want to call a lawyer.
They say that they've had one drink.
Yeah.
And then they say that they are trying to get a lawyer.
Yeah.
But I did notice something. So one of these they're all Karens too, by the way. One of the Karens.
Some of them are even named Karen.
Yeah. So one of the Karens was like, "Oh, fuck this," and they had like 4 kids, and she called their like lawyer.
Oh, she actually got on the phone with
the
lawyer.
And I noticed that after she did that, they like got her another flight really quick.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to use that.
So I don't know.
I didn't realize. Because a huge reason why these people are getting kicked off of planes is because apparently every airline or most airlines overbook every flight, expecting there to be cancellations. So this is why you should check in to your flight 24 hours ahead of time on your phone.
That's what we realized.
Naveen and I have both always been of the mind, like, why would I check into a flight 24 hours
dumb.
early?
Yeah, I'm like, that's dumb. But
that
then it's
dumb.
like letting them know I'm going to be there.
Right.
Don't give away my seat.
So you do not get put on standby.
So yeah, I was like, I'm doing that because our friend was visiting, and he did it, and I was like, wow, this guy is just so on top of it. Man. He's put together.
Right.
Which he is a put together guy.
True.
And I'm like, wow, he's really on top of it, checking in 24 hours in advance.
I think he's actually just what we mean by put together is he's actually just responsible.
A fully functional adult.
Yeah.
Not like us.
We haven't really entered that period of our lives yet.
No, definitely not. But I have been working this week. I kind of wanted to mention.
Yeah.
I've been doing some recording in the new studio, and it's been a good time.
Yeah.
I got I posted about it on my Instagram, but I've got it all up and running, and it feels really good. It's a really cool thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I've been tracking drums for a guy, a few songs. I'm thinking about doing it more too. If anybody's out there wanting some drum tracks, I don't know.
People actually contact both of us through the KoperCrabb Gmail. I don't know if they, like, maybe people are under the impression it's easier to get a hold of us that way. But people have asked about both of us doing guest parts or working on their stuff. So we both do that.
Yeah.
I really only do guest parts. Naveen does whatever. I don't know.
I think I've been thinking about it more. After we get things more set up, I'll probably take on some more of that. But it's been fun. It's been really cool.
That's awesome.
It's kind of the first time I've done that in a really long time. Like fully tracked myself and sitting there and like editing the drums and stuff at the same time. And it actually is not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually really cool.
I enjoy doing parts on other people's music because a lot of the time I'm sent stuff that isn't really what I would play.
Right.
But it's always fun to sort of expand your palette and see what you would do over a part that sounds like this or, things that are out of your wheelhouse. Every time I do like a guest vocal, I feel that I've learned something. Moved a little further.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Every session that I've ever done, I feel that way.
Absolutely.
Or anything, any band I've ever played in, any
like producer you've worked with.
I always walk away with like a new thing. Like, all right, I'm taking that one.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of the reason why our new album sounds the way it does, not that we sound like this, but just because of Naveen's experience tracking the Whitechapel album that you did.
Yeah.
I think it taught you a lot about kind of getting out of the way of vocals sometimes. And just, I do believe that session helped our band kind of learn to mesh a little more and not try to have everyone be the star all at once.
Well, they're like all about making the song the focus.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, oh, I'm going to show off this cool.
Yeah, it's not like this is this person's band. It's this is a song. This is who we are as like a group of people.
Right.
Other people, once you separate everyone, it might sound differently. Like if everyone had a solo project, because we're coming from the opposite direction where everyone in our band had a solo project before we started the band.
Right.
I didn't, but Naveen and Evan, who are the main song people who are writing the song in our band, the songs in our band, had solo projects. So with no vocals.
Yeah.
So when you go from that into a metal band that has vocals should probably be like the primary focus.
For sure.
At a lot of parts in a band.
Or at least at minimum, a consideration.
Right.
Rather than, oh, I'm just going to do anything I can think of. I would make parts and then, because there are certain type of riffs that are they're really sick and crazy. And vocals are going to sound sick on this riff.
Absolutely.
So I kind of just, at minimum, would have that in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Like, is this a riff that a vocalist would want to do something on?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no? It's because sometimes I think we've had parts that are like, and that's not to say that every part's like that. I mean, the album is fucking
definitely not
in depth. It has every type of heavy music that there is, including progressive, death metal, you name it. It's got everything, rock. So it's all over the place. It's still really wild. But it was, nothing is an afterthought.
Nothing's an afterthought. And with all of this being said, I think it made us more, it gave us the ability to kind of like focus in on what our band is. And when, for instance, the drums aren't doing like crazy soloing things the entire time, it makes the parts that are a drum solo stick out even more. Because when you're at like 1,000% the entire song, it makes the 1,000% parts less noticeable.
Yeah, if every part's 1,000%, then that's just it's 1%.
If every part is 1,000%, then it
no parts.
Then there's no parts are 1,000%. If everyone's the homie, then no one's the homie.
Yeah, good quote there.
So
that was Einstein's quote, I believe.
From Einstein.
It was his final theory. Actually, have you been seeing that meme that's going around? That's like Einstein with like a fade.
No.
Okay.
That's funny though.
You know, he's like, it's basically like fuck boy Einstein, and he's explaining his theory. And I don't know that lingo, so I couldn't say what it is. Like yo, this is Bammer or what.
Oh yeah, what's the new lingo?
Yeah.
God, it's a 3-letter word. Everything is I don't know. I'm too old for this.
Yeah, me too.
Everything is God, what is it?
It's like bam bunk or
no, it's not.
It's something that I thought was it's something that I thought was good is now bad.
Hold on.
Something along those lines.
I know where I can find the answer to this.
What, Instagram?
Yeah.
Like the word is a word that I would associate with something being bad, but apparently it's good.
No, it's bussin'.
Yeah, bussin'. Bussin'. So is that good or bad?
Let's look up bussin'.
I don't know.
What exactly is bussin'? This should be one of our segments.
Oh, okay. Urban Dictionary.
So like we said, we're trying to move into the segment territory. Some people had some ideas, but we don't want to be a reaction channel, you guys. Let's think. I know that you would love to see Naveen react to drum videos or whatever, but it's
not our field of expertise.
There are two people in this podcast as well. Bussin' is really good.
Okay.
So damn,
our
that's
age
bussin'.
is showing right now, Cheney.
Damn, that's
We
bussin'.
suck.
Let's see when we can use it.
It's like, oh, KoperCrabb my parents listen to that podcast. It's pretty good.
When something is great, people may describe it as bussin'. It is primarily used to describe delicious food. Okay. But may also refer to other awesome things, such as outstanding fashion choices, cool whips, or slick bars, which I'm assuming is like a rap bar.
A bar like a nightclub?
No.
Club is bussin'? Oh, like that verse is bussin', y'all.
Okay, so Urban Dictionary says bussin' is an adjective used when something is so fucking good.
Okay.
Usually when people say bussin', they're talking about food. So you could use it in, is it bussin', Janelle?
I don't know if that one's going to work its way into my vocabulary.
Bussin'. I might try it. I'm going to try it out with my grandma and get back to you.
Yeah, I know. You would do that.
Hey, Grandma.
She's like,
what'd you eat for dinner last night?
Like, what?
Oh, I had a hamburger patty with barbecue sauce over it, which is my grandma's specialty. I'll be like, oh, was it bussin'?
I really hope that you don't actually do that when I'm around. It's just awkward.
I should.
But, should we get into some of these calls?
Let's talk about, so we saw Witching the other night.
Yes,
this band Witching. We went to a venue.
We have been going to a few shows.
Yeah.
So we've been supporting the local scene. We've been
supporting the scene.
We've been seeing a lot of openers, a lot of local acts.
We have.
You know, a lot of national bands too.
Yes. We've seen them all.
And the last one we went to was Witching.
Yeah, we went to Witching. We saw them at Dark Matter Collective, which is a venue in Nashville.
Yeah. That
I like. I like the venue. It's sick.
Yeah, it's a good time.
You don't like it?
No, it's cool. It reminds me of venues that I would have went to when I was a kid.
Yeah. That's
except
why I like
for way nicer. Because if I went there to that type of venue when you're a kid, well, for one, they sell beer.
Yeah,
so
they do.
If I had went to that venue.
That reminds me. Oh my God. I hope no one listens. Well, I don't care. We saw, what were we calling it? We saw a teenage heist.
We saw a heist. We did.
We saw a teenage heist.
Don't say what show it was at. Let's just we've been to multiple shows there.
At one of the shows,
which show it was.
We saw a teen heist. Naveen caught it, and it happened right in front of me, and I didn't see it.
I'm going to be an accomplice now because I'm not going to rat him out.
This is how good these teenagers were at hiding what they were doing.
It was really pro. So they have all the beers selection on the counter,
right?
But they're full. And on the end was like a hard topo chico,
which is really good.
Yeah. And so I saw these girls like pointing, like, you know, they're like, and I thought they were pointing at the bartender, but as soon as she turned her back for 1 second, they ran by, boom, grabbed the topo chico, and they went straight to the bathroom.
Chugged it.
Yeah, chugged it.
Which I was thinking, you know, if you're trying to like catch a buzz, one Topo Chico heist, it's not really going to get you there.
I know. Well, maybe it was though, because they probably weighed like 90 pounds a piece.
So I don't know if that's like a grand heist, but maybe it was just the beginning of their night.
Well, here's what was weird. They showed up.
When we were kids, we had this friend, I won't rat this person out, but they were very good at stealing from Walmart.
Yeah.
And they would go and steal just full-blown bottles of like Hawkeye vodka.
Well,
which is the Iowa low-tier vodka.
Right. Well, that's how it starts, with stealing a topo.
But sorry, I interrupted the story you were about to tell.
I don't remember.
Oh, fuck.
I thought I just told it. Oh, so what was weird was those teeny bopper girls showed up, grabbed the topo, and then they left.
They dipped.
So I don't know if that was, and it's $12 to get in. So I mean, did they pay $24?
I know. Just go stand outside of a gas station and get someone to buy you fucking
shoulder tap
20 topos.
So we saw that. That was a heist. That was pretty cool. We have picked up on some faux pas that local bands and opening bands do.
Yes.
And we thought it would be funny to mention those, right? Those. What do you think, Jamie?
Yeah.
So this isn't coming from a place of anger
or
We're
hatred.
not belittling anybody.
Or hatred.
But there's certain things that you might not know about. And we thought it'd be good to give people a couple tips.
No, you also might not know about this because there are touring bands that do this as well.
Yeah.
You just kind of over time you learn how to not get in other bands' way.
Yeah.
A little bit. So we saw a band who actually was kind of sick.
Was
they were a
good.
sick
I was
band.
having a good time watching them.
I know. I was enjoying watching them a lot.
But
actually.
I think they did every faux pas that is possible
from the beginning. Yeah.
So when they were setting up, I saw one of the members of the band run up to the touring band and ask to borrow a cable. So right there,
number one,
you are in your own town. You need to show up with your own cables.
Bring your own cables.
Don't borrow cables from the national band.
Especially a cable.
What the heck?
Unless your cable broke. Unless your cable, unless there was a totally...
Your cable broke and you ran up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting that vibe, and I'm pretty sure I saw the drummer borrow some, like a throne and a couple items from the national drummer. Pretty sure I saw that. And I also should say, disclaimer, I used to do all this stuff.
Of course.
And my band was really bad about it.
Really?
And I think there's even memes about like the local band asking to borrow a bass cab, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So
or like
don't
a
do
full-blown bass.
Yeah, so don't do that. If you really want to go the other way, what you could do is say, hit up the touring band and say, hey, I'm in the opening band. Wanted to know if you guys needed anything. That would be a way to freaking boom.
That's an
you're
automatic in.
Like a friendship.
Now you're friends forever.
Okay, second thing. So that was the first thing I saw. The second thing that I saw that was bad was don't break down your stuff on stage.
No.
Like, don't start taking the cymbals off. No. You need to get it all off stage.
Just pull everything off stage and then you break down your kit.
Yeah, and this goes for guitar players too.
Everyone.
I don't want to see you meticulously rolling up your... Take all the cables, throw them on the pedal board, and move it off stage.
You know, at this show, it wasn't as like a huge deal because I don't think this show was on like a tour managed schedule.
It was a more laid back vibe.
But when you're on like a 5-band package comes through your town and you're the opening band, you're so stoked to play. The band next to you, like there's a schedule all night and every band only gets 15 minutes to set their stuff up on stage. So any like rolling or anything that you do on the stage is preventing the next band from setting up.
Yeah. And
it kind of it doesn't ruin, but it goes into everyone else's set time for the rest of the night.
Yeah. It's unnecessary. So here's what you do. Also, here's another one. Appear to be hustling. It annoys me when people are all just hella relax, move. Don't do that. If I look up and I see you breaking down and you're like, what? Getting stuff off really quick. Like Evan and I have taken notice of that. Like we've been like, dude, did you see that local band? They were fucking like
hustlers,
busting it to get their shit off stage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, props for that.
Totally.
That is awesome.
Totally. I remember we were on our very first tour and we were the first band on the package. So we were directly affected by what the opening band was doing. And we played this show. I'm not going to say where it was, but the opening band, they got done. I think they ended their set 5 minutes late.
They were late.
They were 5 minutes late, which was already kind of oh man, all right, we're going to have to hustle.
Okay,
but then they lined up, took a bow, started singing happy birthday to one of the members of their band, and they were like shaking hands with the crowd while they were on stage. And it's like
bad.
You don't see touring bands doing this stuff because we know that we're fucking over the next band. Yeah, we got to get off stage. That's why it's a hustle. That's why if you come back and see me at merch right after we're done playing and you ask me, where's Naveen? Well, all of the other members of my band have stuff that they have to actually like pick up after the show. And the vocalist is the one member who can step away.
Right.
Because I don't really have anything to clean up. But for Naveen, he's got to grab everything, take everything off stage, help the next band get onto stage, then go and break down his drum kit.
There's another tip that you could do. You could quickly get your stuff off stage and then run up to the other band and be like, "Where's your shit? I'm gonna help."
Help.
And don't say, "Do you guys need a hand?" Because they'll say no. Just say, "Hey, where's your stuff? I'm helping you put your stuff on stage."
Absolutely.
Dude, I would be like, okay, this is. See, now we're getting into some.
You know who I want to shout out?
Friendship.
You know who I want to shout out from the Tech Trek tour for being the most amazing, like, helping dude? Andrew Kim. Andrew Kim, the bassist of Inferi. Every day when we would show up, Andrew would just come up to our trailer and be like, "You guys need any help loading in?" Would always help. Yeah. That's what pro. The fuck is up.
That's pro.
That's what's up.
Vulvodynia was really good about that too.
Of course, everyone is really good at it, but I just remember specifically Andrew was there every day, like seeing what everyone else needed. You know, that's a
good thing.
Yeah, I should do that. I don't even do that to my own band.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you helped us out.
I know. I should probably load in. But you know what they say about vocalists? I mean,
what do they say, that they're trash? Other vocalists in other bands help load in.
I help load in. I do help load in. That's such bullshit. I totally help load in.
Okay. Sure.
Unless there are a lot of stairs, then I'm like going to hide.
Yeah. But
I just thought of something I had to do.
Yeah.
Backstage conveniently.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, I gotta look cute before I can load in.
So I got called out for that, remember? For not going to the merch.
Oh yeah.
But I was literally packing up and doing stuff.
Yeah. Someone sent me a scathing message about
it. And honestly,
Naveen.
when they texted me, "Hey Naveen, can you come to merch?" And like when I was finally done with my shit, my business, I looked at my phone and it was, "Hey, can you come to merch?" And I immediately went to merch.
Yeah. So no one's ever, like, there's no ignoring. It's that from the moment we go to a show to the moment that we leave, it's just endless. It's work. There's so much work to do.
For Naveen to do. For me, there's a lot of work to do on practicing my makeup skills. You're on the last tour and multiple tours, you are basically the one watching the merch for the most part.
Yeah.
So that's
which I enjoy doing. I'm going to do it on the next run.
I did it a lot on this last tour too.
You did.
For the opening.
Hey, teamwork makes the dream work. I think that it was a lot of fun running merch, but it's fun when the band is down to help.
Yeah.
Then you can catch a break, because merch, honestly, for vocalists, if I wasn't setting up merch and doing merch, there's not a whole lot for me to do. So it's a lot of like sitting around or going to a coffee shop. I could have drawn more, but it gives me more to do when I'm setting up merch.
Yeah, I wish that I had less to do. I remember being bored on tour when I was back in the day. I don't know what. Yeah, and I think we actually did nail it. It's because we didn't play shows where you had to load in early.
I know.
That's what it was.
I was texting the vocalist of Witching on the way to the show the other night, like, "What time do you guys play?" And she said, "Oh, we're heading to the venue right now, so I'll let you know in a few." And that was at like 6:15 at night.
I was like, dude, if I could load in at 6, my life would be. That's 4 extra hours a day.
That's so tight.
Yeah, it was great.
Because most of the tours that we do, you have to load in around
2 or 3,
4 at the latest.
Yeah, 4 at the latest.
Depending, it kind of depends where you are in the lineup. But oh man, if we could load in at 6:15, 6:30 every day, we'd just be living life.
I would have lavishly. So much time to do everything I want to do.
I know.
Because anyway, Chenny, we need to get into these calls. We're 40 minutes deep.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into these calls.
So let's get into a couple of these calls.
So if you guys, hit us up. Some people have taken advantage of the hotline so far. Let's do this. We need a little jingle.
Yeah, I know.
We're going to work on that.
I'm going to figure that out. I was like, it's funny. I was trying to find like an old school just some kind of old retro thing that we could use.
Yeah.
So I was like lobster hotline in YouTube, and I was searching through all the videos, and there was one that came up, and it was a guy, Lloyd Lobster, and it was the lobster hotline. And I was like, fuck, this is going to be perfect. And when I clicked on the video, it was like not there. It wasn't available anymore. Because it had like 2 views or something. I guess he like deleted it. But I was like, man, Lloyd Lobster, if you're out there,
man.
If you're out there,
Lloyd, if you want to sell the rights to Lobster Hotline to us, we're coming in hot. We got like $50 on it.
Okay. So. Another thing was, I was having some problems playing the calls. They were cutting in and out. So hopefully this works.
You know how we do. It's all tech issues all the time. Always be.
But
the ABCs always be
figuring out bullshit. Always be.
Well, I was saying for the Golden Lobster Hotline, it's always be calling.
There you go.
What are the ABCs of tour, babe? Now
always be charging.
Always be charging.
Always charge something.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we got and not enough people. We haven't really advertised the hotline very much. Mm-hmm. So at this point in time, if you call, you're probably getting on the show. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
We don't have enough calls to where we're like, all right, we got to pick and choose,
Right.
We do have kind of a lot, but
you're getting on the show.
You're probably getting on the show.
You're probably getting on the show. So just call us up.
Okay. So here we go. This is actually the first KoperCrabb hotline call.
All right.
Of all time. Let's give it a shot.
This is Aaron from Greensboro, North Carolina. On tonight's podcast episode, you talked about being at a show where you saw some kid pass out. Pretty sure that was here in Greensboro because, Cheney, I went up to you and talked to you about it immediately after. Have you ever seen anything like that before? And then I requested Form and Void, like a Punisher. Yeah, there's actually a video I took of you guys from that night playing Perpetual Miscalculations on my YouTube channel, Aaron Loves Gear. And also a commercial I made for a dating app where you can only match with me. Yeah, have a good night.
Hell yeah.
All right, so a little plug there. If you didn't catch it, because I've listened to these messages a bunch of times. His channel is called Aaron Loves Gear.
Check it out.
And he apparently made a dating app where you can only match with him.
Yeah, he wrote in to the podcast like at the very beginning about that. I remember this vaguely. He wrote in about the... Wait, so... Aaron, can you send us the link to that? Does he have the message?
To the dating app?
Yeah.
He didn't leave a link, but I'm sure it's not too hard.
We got to hear it. Put it in the comments or something.
Aaron Loves Gear.
You're totally right. That's exactly where it was. Yeah. So we've told the story before, but someone just passed out. Had a seizure in the middle of a show. Our merch guy, Phallus at the time.
Ex-military.
Or
former, I don't know. Ex, does that mean?
Yeah, he's not ex. Yeah, he didn't kick out. He was in the Navy.
Yeah,
he
for 5 years.
He's retired. I think that's it. Retired Navy. He was studying to be a paramedic at the time. Now he's a firefighter.
Pretty good dude.
He was, doing everything he could to help this person, and I don't know what ended up happening, but we've heard that maybe this person passed away, which is
tragic.
Just so tragic. But yeah, that's exactly where it was. It's been so many years since we've played Form and Void that I almost forgot it was one of our songs.
Yeah, it's an old NTS
Shouts
song.
Out. That's.
But we were playing one song off the demo.
Yeah.
This run.
Yep.
All right, you want to get into another? This is really cool.
I know.
Also, by the way,
I know.
I want super awesome. Like I was having
goose pimples.
I was like, this is so cool. People can call it.
It's amazing.
And it seems like it's working good if I do it off my phone.
Oh yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah. So.
All right. Shouts out, Aaron. Much love. On
2.
the GL, baby.
Yeah. Golden Lobster for life.
Hey, Naveen, this is Sean Makita. I was just calling to try to be the first Golden Lobster to call in. I don't have anything even remotely interesting or intelligent to say. Hope you guys are doing well. Take care. Bye.
Much love.
All right.
Shouts out, Sean. Sean is who made this. We should pull this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, he definitely is a Golden Lobster.
GL for life, baby.
He made us this thing, which should be on display, but it's not. You know what sucks is in our room we have tons of KoperCrabb cool stuff, like this wood cut.
Totally.
I don't know. It's like a laser cut wood.
No, I think he did that by hand. I'm not totally sure.
Okay, that makes it even more impressive. So that's something. We also have
that's amazing.
Our cool. if people don't know, we do have KoperCrabb shirts left still, and they're really fucking cool.
Yeah, they are. We
like, I don't know why more people aren't buying them, because they totally rule.
I think we just never talk about them.
Yeah, we don't.
That's
promote
an issue.
those.
So
It's
we're
whack.
bad at promoting those. Yeah, we do have KoperCrabb shirts. We're gonna get some new coffee cups because those coffee cups flew off the shelves. So
I think stuff like that is the move, and I think
do too.
tulip beer glasses would be really fun.
We keep saying that every week. So let's make it happen.
Okay, so he was the second caller in.
I know, Sean.
Sorry,
you
brother.
missed
Yeah, let me see
your
how off he
opportunity.
was.
You only get one shot. To
He
be
was
the
3
original.
hours late, dude.
Damn.
3 hours late.
3 hours.
But we've got.
Well, we post these podcasts at like
weird times.
Well, sometimes it's 11:30 on a Tuesday, 11:30 p.m.
Yeah.
So Sean must have heard this at
He heard it at
maybe 12:30 California time.
It was he didn't listen to it until the next day.
Oh, Sean.
Yeah.
You missed your shot.
Okay, you ready for this next call?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's do it.
Hey, Cheney. Hey, Naveen. This is Abby from Wyoming. I'm calling you to talk about weed stuff. Being in Wyoming, it's still very much illegal here, but we do also have Delta 8, like you guys have in Nashville. And I partake in that pretty regularly. One of my favorite.
Oh, I think you just stopped it when you did
shit,
that.
my bad. See?
We're still getting used to it.
With weed is to get nice and properly high and then do some yoga. There's something about, like, the weed just gives you a little bit more, like, focus, I think, and I don't know, it just makes it easier to kind of like drop into a yoga practice. I don't know, try it out. See ya.
All right, Cheney, what do you think about that?
Absolutely. I would agree with that.
Yeah,
weed is pairs very nicely with doing yoga, or I the times that I've tried to meditate high, I can't really be laser focused. But as far as doing something like yoga where you're really trying to feel every part of your body and stretch and do that, I totally agree with that.
I could see that being really awesome.
Yeah.
And you know what's kind of weird about that call is while I was getting set up for the podcast today, I was like, man, I need to start doing yoga again. Because I did it the other day for the first time in a while. And for, I don't know, maybe a few months when I was like going in my spiritual phase, I was doing yoga every day instead of working out.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, man, I felt so good. I felt like I didn't have a body.
Yeah, you start to feel, well, I wasn't doing yoga as much as you were, but I would do it with you sometimes. And there are so many, like, the older you get, the more you feel like your muscles need to be stretched out, and your body just kind of like gets worked.
Yeah.
Especially going on tour, which on tour we should be doing yoga all the time, because I noticed it a lot on this last tour that my back will start to feel kind of cramped up, or my legs.
Right.
And yoga is all about stretching and making you feel good. So even if you like working out can really...
Working out has like the opposite
effect.
Yeah.
So yoga, we got to get back into it.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that. And it was kind of weird. And I wanted to recommend this book that I have, this yoga book, which is Ashtanga Yoga Practice Manual by David Swenson.
That's the guy who has the videos as well, right?
He's got videos of all this stuff, but it's like super in depth, and it's got every pose, and then there's programs in the back, and then there's also stuff you can do like to work up to the pose, or if you can't do it, alternatives, that type of thing. Really awesome. This thing is you could use this for probably your whole life.
For a while,
Seriously.
you were using his YouTube. He's got like a 30-minute.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
And it's really funny because it's like from the 90s.
I love it.
It's like VHS tape.
I love that it's from the 90s. He's
Yeah,
just like out in the middle of wilderness doing yoga in the 90s.
And he's like really nice and calming.
Oh, I love it.
It's great. And then, but yeah, the point of doing yoga actually is so you can sit down comfortably, so you can meditate.
Wow.
A lot of you guys probably don't know that.
There we go.
But that's why the physical yoga was developed. It's so you can comfortably sit down cross-legged.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out Abby. So Delta 8.
I know. I wonder if is she doing weed and doing
That's what I was wondering.
Or is she doing Delta 8?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Because, Wyoming is right there by Colorado. So they've got.
I think she's probably doing the real thing.
Yeah, I don't know. But Delta 8 is kind of rad.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before, but I quit smoking. I am a stoner.
Wait a minute, you quit smoking for what?
I quit smoking for a couple of weeks at the beginning of the year, mainly because I couldn't really find weed when we first moved to Tennessee.
Right.
So I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll give this stuff that looks like weed a shot.
We call it not pot.
We call it not pot around here.
Yeah.
We're all into it.
Yeah.
Naveen's got like a vape pen of it. And honestly, I did find that it had a lot of the great properties. It provided a lot of the great things that weed will help you with. Like it made you kind of hungry. It made you chilled out.
Yeah.
It was honestly,
I really like it.
It made you sleepy.
Yep.
It honestly carried a lot of the good parts of weed without the bad parts. And the bad parts are weed induces anxiety.
Weed induces you thinking about something you thought of said when you were in third grade.
Yeah, when you were in third grade. That's what I always get
about
and and you're like, why on earth did I say that?
Yeah.
So I really like Delta 8. There's this other stuff called God, what was it? THC. It's THCA.
Yeah.
And essentially, so we've got these we've got these really knowledgeable Delta 8 salesmen from New York who live down the street. Well, they don't live down the street. Their shop is down the street from us.
Yeah.
And they were kind of going into the specifics of all of this stuff with me. And what I got from THCA is that when you pick THCA, because it comes from the pot plant, the cannabis plant, when you pick THCA, it doesn't have the properties that make weed illegal. Like the psychoactive stuff can't be found in it.
Right.
Then when you light it, it all of a sudden, because of the way that fire chemically works with the plant, then it's like weed.
Huh.
But also it seemed like THCA had a very, very small percentage of THC in it, because even though weed is completely illegal in Tennessee, it's a certain percentage of weed, which is really small. So in most strains of weed, if you're smoking grass, you're going to see 15% THC or higher. If you're smoking top shelf weed, we're looking at 25%, sometimes up to 42. Or if you're doing a dab, we're looking at the 90 percentile range. But THCA had, I think, it has to have under 0.04 or just 0.4% THC. So it's a really, really small amount, but it does the trick.
Okay.
At least for me.
Did you try the THCA?
Yeah, that's mostly what I was smoking.
Okay. But it's still kind of like not pot, basically.
It's kind of like not pot, but yeah, because you're not going to get like ripped out of frame.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's just a nice calming high.
Yeah, I'm down for the Delta 8.
Yeah.
D8.
Yeah,
Date,
totally.
if you will.
Date.
So
They also, there are trucks parked all over downtown Nashville that are like food trucks, but they sell Delta 8.
And
premium. All of the Delta 8 stores are pretty much posing as recreational pot shops. That's how all the billboards look. They all call it cannabis, but none of it is legal cannabis.
Yeah, it's not pot.
Because I know this because I get excited every time I see one of those billboards.
Oh, when you're in other states?
No, here.
Oh.
If you're looking...
like it says cannabis bar.
Yeah.
It's NP.
But it's actually not pot.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? We're going to try... I'll hit the Delta 8. Cheney will hit the regular pot P. and we'll give the yoga a try.
There we
go.
go.
We'll let you know how it goes.
Thanks, Abby.
All right, next
Much love.
caller. Thanks, Abby.
Golden Lobster Vince here from Cambridge, Ontario. I finally got to see you live in Toronto, and I must say you guys killed it. Thanks for making it. It was also great to be able to meet you both at the merch booth. I was the guy wearing one of your limited edition tie-dye shirts, if that rings a bell, maybe. And I just wanted to say I love the podcast and the hotline idea. I'm so stoked to hear the new record and hope to see you again in the future. Cheers to you both.
Fuck yeah.
Cheers, man.
Thanks for calling.
What was his name? Say it. I missed it.
I don't think we got his name. He just said Golden Lobster Vince from
Vince.
Cambridge.
That's his name, Vince.
Oh, Vince.
Yeah.
I thought it's transcribed as Vents. Like he's gonna do a vent, like vent something.
Shout out, Vince. I do remember.
What an idiot.
I do remember you coming up to the table in Toronto. That was an awesome show, by the way. It was so fun.
Yeah, we were stoked to see how many people showed up with the limited edition tie-dyes.
That was crazy. It's always crazy when you like create something in your house and then you go out into the world, especially a wearable item that's so obviously like, okay, they're wearing it. It was really crazy to see people show up in those shirts specifically because Naveen and I busted our asses on making those shirts.
I was like, my hands were on that.
Yeah.
Like, I washed it by hand. Like that was in my house.
Those are totally done with love.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
And we got some new ideas for some more of tie-dyes.
Yeah, we
future.
do. Yeah, we do.
So you'll hear about it first, obviously.
But yeah, I'm glad you got to catch us too. That was
really cool.
We
man.
finally got to do like a real legit Canadian tour, which we've been waiting for the past 7 years of being a band to do.
Where did he say he saw us?
Toronto.
Oh, Toronto, yeah.
Toronto was an insane show.
That was. Oh, okay, that wasn't.
That was the Opera House. That was like the huge show.
Okay, yeah, that was a great time. Yeah. So, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
What a great guy. Calling in, getting the shirt. I mean, this is so
He's
awesome.
Already a Golden Lobster.
I love
He's
it.
opted into the program, the GL.
Golden Lobster
He's
program.
on the GL.
Yeah. It's just really cool. And yeah, we're excited. He mentioned the new album. The new album is totally done.
It's turned in. Layout is getting turned in as I'm literally going back and forth as we speak.
Yeah. What
We're looking at potential release dates, which
yeah. When you so a thing that we might mention.
Getting bummed.
Yeah, when you're on a label and you turn in your album, they're like, cool, it's coming out in 5 years.
Yeah,
you're like,
it's like,
oh,
all right, the vinyl plant isn't going to be able to release anything until 2038. So we're just going to throw that over there.
Yeah, it's like, are we going to be a band by the time this thing comes out? Or
with that being said, though, it looks like we are going to put songs out.
Yeah, in advance, obviously.
Pretty soon.
Singles and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean.
But you know what? I think that I'm starting to look at it from the bright side, and it's that this gives us, we worked very, very, very fucking hard on this album. And we worked on it really hard it consumed 2 years of our lives.
Yeah,
so
at least.
I want all of our music videos to reflect that. We're really interested in making our music videos like really cool, cinematic, really thought out, not just another, here's a band playing here video.
Else.
Yeah.
Which is what we did last time.
We did last time.
No hate.
Yeah, no, we don't. No offense to that. We are obviously down. We'll do it if we have to. But it is cool to have that chance to kind of, and really when we're looking at release dates, something that we're keeping in mind, because it is ultimately our choice, is that we really want it to be presented in a way that does the album justice. We did that with the album art. We did that with the mixing and tracking and performance. So we want the actual release of the album to reflect how hard we've worked on it. So yeah, album's done, and we're so excited to share it with you guys.
We're looking at summer 2030, so you guys,
summer 2030.
We'll be hyping it for quite some time.
Also, I think this album really showcases a lot of elements of our band that we haven't been able to showcase before. So we're stoked to put it out.
Yeah,
you guys will hear it soon.
We're probably more anxious to put it out.
I would actually really like to, in some way, let you guys hear it first, or
I think we should have a little listening party.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to do something exclusive with you guys, because you mean a lot to us.
That's something to think about. Maybe the first time we drop a single, we like do it here.
Yeah.
And do like a live listening.
Could be.
Sesh.
Could be.
And it could also be a way to get people to start listening to the podcast.
Oh. But I'm telling you what, when I read through those, or when I go and look at a couple of those comments on the music video, I better see y'all Golden Lobsters representing.
Yeah. Get Golden Lobsters up in there. All right. So this is the last call.
Awesome.
Ready for it, Shani?
Yep.
Hey, Naveen, how's it going? This is
Just
Shelton. I'm calling from.
I think you're cutting it off when they say Cheney.
Cities area, but I'm coming up at.
Okay, so it's not me. It just that's what happens. I don't know why.
Yeah. Okay. So make sure to say my name second, so it doesn't get cut off.
Yeah, it cuts off like the first second or so. I don't know why. That's the best we can do here. But yeah, so they're mainly just talking to me. They're not sure about your whole.
They're not sure. I noticed
here.
that when they wanted you to do the drum reviews.
So.
I'm just kidding.
All right, so here we go.
Oopsie. Oh, it's not playing.
Okay, hold on. It went off of the Bluetooth.
Always be
fixing some bullshit.
Fixing tech issues.
This one's just like not working.
Just play it up to the speaker.
Okay, I'll try to do that. Some of the downsides of having your own podcast.
Calling from the Minneapolis, Twin Cities area, but I'm coming up as a St. Louis area code. I just wanted to go ahead and give my props to the podcast and congratulations on everything that you guys have been doing so far. I was just, as I was listening to the Golden, I think it's the Golden Lobsters, I was thinking about that episode of South Park where it was like the crab people. I think what you could do is you could sell like oven mitts that are gold or yellow in some way and says KoperCrabb on it, and then your actual calling, just take your entire hand and smack it against your thumb and just say crab people. That would be pretty interesting. Anyway, I just wanted to go ahead and say that hopefully you guys are doing pretty well. I'm really enjoying the podcast. I look forward to seeing you guys on tour. I was also kind of wondering why you guys didn't come through Minneapolis at all, and that it would have been kick-ass here. Anyway, I better let you go. I'm going to go ahead in the next couple of days. I'm seeing your good friends in Fallujah on tour up here. So I hope you guys have a good one. Take care and be safe. Bye.
All right. I hope that came through. Don't know what's up with that, but anyway.
Yeah. Much love. Thank you for all the congratulations and everything.
So lobster people or crab people?
That's funny. I didn't even think of that. But I remember that episode.
Have you seen that episode? Okay.
I have seen that episode, yeah.
I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah.
Because that might be a
We'll look it up and get a better frame of reference.
Sound drop. But yeah, we didn't go to Minneapolis because I was like, you know what? We'll do the tour if there's no Minneapolis.
As long as there's no Minneapolis. That was actually...
thing.
Yeah, when they sent us the tour offer, it did say Minneapolis. We were going to play Minneapolis, and we replied and we said, you know what? If Minneapolis is on the tour, we're absolutely not doing it.
Down. We're not down. It was because Shani's from Iowa.
And there's a rivalry.
Yeah. It's high school football.
Yeah, it's
That's what it is.
We don't really fuck with Minneapolis.
No.
Iowa.
So I think the tour that we just did was there was only 20 shows in the States and then 10 shows in Canada. So we just had to cover a lot of ground, and they were just selective about the cities that we go to. But another thing that's worth mentioning is that bands usually, especially the support bands on the tour, have zero say.
Literally zero say. The only time that a support band will have say is if we want to play a show on the off day.
Yeah.
On the headliner's day off. So on that tour specifically, we had absolutely nothing to do with booking it. We get the dates and the routing, and we say yes or no.
They say, do you want to do this tour? Here's the dates. And then So
it's all in the hands of the booking agent and your local promoter.
Well, I want to go back to Minneapolis because I want to go to this place, this food spot.
Well, I have a surprise for everyone. We are announcing some dates literally tomorrow on Thursday.
Oh, shit.
And Minneapolis is one of the days. We are coming back. So we're going to make it up to you. Yeah. Come and see the show.
But yeah, we'll look into this crab people thing, get to the bottom of it. I think, Cheney, that's a wrap.
Well, we have a couple of actual questions.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to keep going.
So people have still written in.
Let's go. So yeah, you can write in on the email. You can call in the number. You can also text the hotline.
You can text the hotline.
So we're making it like easy as hell.
To get a hold of us, we're very accessible right now. We're all about being accessed.
All at your service.
All access, GL, all the time. Okay, we have 2 questions. Okay.
Oops, sorry.
All right, we got to get Naveen away from this hot voicemail thing. Jesus Christ.
You want to do it?
No.
You could actually do it because it's Bluetooth to the Roadcaster.
Oh, I could do it.
So you could do it if you want.
All right, we've got another one. So this is from David Wynn. Hey there. I have recently opted in to becoming a golden lobster.
Oh.
I got to say, this golden lobster thing is catching on like wildfire.
Crustacean Nation.
I have been really enjoying the podcast. Please never stop producing content, whether it be music or podcasts or whatever. We can assure you we are not going to stop. David.
No, not going to.
I have a question if you don't mind answering. How difficult is it for you to remember all of the material that you have written? For example, is it pretty easy for you guys to remember the material when preparing for a tour, or do you have to look at YouTube covers or listen to stems to remember your songs? Thanks for your time.
I think for Cheney and I, it's probably the easiest because the drums kind of just go by like feel.
Yeah.
And then I think they'll for me, that is, I'm not like the most methodical, like write everything out in Guitar Pro kind of a guy. I like just play what I feel like. So I'm most likely going to just play it the same way. And then, yeah, I mean, I could listen to the song a couple times just to like refresh if I forget something.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes there have been times where, so we played an old song on the last tour that we did called Chemical Flashbacks. That's from the EP that we put out in 2015. So it's 7
kind of
years
a
old.
rendition.
Yeah, and it's a rendition that we rewrote 2 years ago. So when we were jamming that for the first couple of times, I did notice there was a part that I was like spacing that it even happened. So I would get these 2 parts mixed up and I had to go back and listen to the song. But you know, it just depends how much you've played the song. There's a lot of muscle memory for me in vocals. Like I can, as far as lyrics go, I've noticed myself on stage saying words correctly, doing lyrics, and I can completely detach and think about something else. But it really just depends. There are parts like that. I'm sure, Naveen, sometimes you have to revisit a song if you haven't listened to it in a while.
Yeah, and I actually didn't really do it like this time around, even though we hadn't played the songs in a dang long time. I kind of just could play it.
Yeah.
So I don't have that problem. If I was on guitar, yeah, I'd be looking at the GP.
Totally.
But the thing is, when you play music on tour 30 days in a row, it just commits to muscle memory and you don't have to think about it. Like there's no remembering going on.
Yeah.
You're just playing the songs.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It becomes that way.
For me, the biggest stressor in going and playing live is remembering our set list.
Yeah.
Because
that's something you got to remember.
That's something you have to remember after a few days. It's just like, okay, this song comes after this song. It's sort of like listening to a CD. Like I've noticed, or an album. I've noticed that I'll listen to albums by artists that I like, and I always anticipate that the beginning of the next song is coming after the song I'm listening to now. Like you start to hear that.
Yeah, yeah.
So after a few days, the set list is no big deal, but for the first couple of days when we're playing, you know, albums completely out of order and different albums together, you start to, it's not as easy to remember that right away.
Yeah. Totally.
Because we don't usually write out set lists. We play the same set every night. It's in our like ears the same. The click is the same. So you just start to commit it to memory.
Exactly. And I think another thing that you have to remember is honestly how to set up efficiently.
Oh yeah.
Like that's a huge thing for me. That's the main thing I'm thinking about. Like, what do I grab first? Because I'm doing lights too and everything.
Totally.
So that's kind of a memory thing that you have to work on.
A lot of that stuff just takes practicing it, going on tour. There are so many things that you can practice a million times at home by yourself, but until you're on tour actually doing the thing, it's hard to completely know how it's going to pan out. So for instance, vocals rely so much on breathing. I would argue that breathing is over half the battle. You have to learn, if you're doing quick passages or long passages, you have to learn when you can breathe. Otherwise, you will run out of breath or your vocals will not have as much of an impact at the end of a line. So I can practice that a lot at home, and I'm good at, learning when to breathe in our songs. But at home, I'm not exerting my energy playing to an audience. So when you're playing to a crowd and you start to realize what parts you really want to go off for, get the crowd into, or do, a little crowd work, if you will, that's when you can really start to understand what you should do with breathing. So, everything takes work and practice, but as far as remembering the actual songs, that's not.
No, it's not a thing.
Not really a thing. It just depends, though. For some people, it might be.
Yeah. Not us, though. We're pro.
All right. Next question. This one's from Jake Miller.
Make Jiller.
Hey, dudes. Glad to see y'all back home safe. You're amazing on tour. My band just put a new single out, and we're recording the rest of our album. In your opinion, what is the best way to market a new album as an underground band? Much love, Jake from Scrap Pile. Oh, Scrap Pile. Love Scrap Pile.
Let me know if you figure it out.
Yeah.
That's what we'd like to know.
I mean, really, I would just say, as an underground band, I think that it would help to have a lot of singles. You're not having to work with within the constraints of a label, so you're at sort of an advantage there. Make a music video for each video, make a playthrough, or for each single, make a playthrough for each single on every instrument. Playthroughs do well on the internet. I think that a lot of the thing, if you want to build up your band, there's so much that you can do on the internet. So start to look at bands that you admire and ask yourself, what is this band doing to promote themselves on the internet? What's working about what they're doing? That's essentially what people who are in marketing try to figure out and try to do. Cool videos, cool playthroughs. Some people do stuff like what Volvodinia did with the Bob the Butcher thing and put that guy all over the album. There are a million different creative things that you can come up with to market yourself or to get some notice on the internet. Just figure out what's your band all about and kind of
lean into it. I think this goes for literally anything. And it's just, the mindset has to be, this is what I do now. It's not, we're going to do this promotion for this much time and then I'm going to go do something else. Mm-hmm. It's just, here's what we're doing with my life. I'm constantly, and you don't even have to think of it as promoting. You're just doing your work. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You put out videos. You write songs. You blah, 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 blah. But I would agree, Cheney. I think maybe it's not even a good idea to release an album.
Yeah, maybe it should just all be singles.
Just release songs consistently.
Yeah.
And start getting the buzz going that way.
Because I notice a thing that people start to do is they'll take 5 years to release one album, and then for the next 5 years or 10 years, they're just existing off of that. You kind of have to, especially when you're just starting out, you have to be consistent with putting stuff out. And you can't be too overly analytical about the stuff that you're putting out. Just get stuff out there. Don't second guess everything that you do, because that can prevent you from growing. If you just start writing riffs and putting stuff out, then it's on to the next thing. You can keep doing that forever until you have some sort of following.
Yep, I agree. And you can but you have to think of it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, Chaney and I, we kept the band going, and we haven't even put out an album for like 5 years.
Yeah, we haven't. We put out a song in 2020.
So we put one song out, and we've been still growing the band. I mean, it's been getting bigger, and we're just doing that because we started a podcast. We release shit on Instagram all the time, and I mean, we could just keep doing that for however long. I mean, obviously, we want more music to be out. That's where we want it to be out now. But if we can't, don't throw your hands up in the air and say you have nothing to do. Just keep doing stuff.
Yeah, just be creative with it.
Yeah.
You can't ever come from the mindset that like the well has run dry. There is always something that you can do. Naveen sometimes will just go in and jam drums for like 20 minutes and come up with just a cool drum thing, make a video and post it.
Yeah.
You gotta keep yourself out there. And don't get too caught up in the, oh man, we're not doing good now or this or that. Yeah. Just keep going. And no matter what, if you really believe in yourself and if you really want to do something and you consistently are following through with that, if every day you're waking up and you're like, I'm the vocalist for Scrap Pile, this is what I'm fucking doing. You're just going to keep gaining momentum. And that's what happens. That's how bands get noticed, get signed, get on tours.
It's usually because it's not because they put a hit album out on their own. They're just doing
it. Yeah, they're doing it.
But it's the same thing with anything, like mowing the grass.
Yeah.
I'm not mowing the grass. All right, cool. Done mowing the grass. I'm mowing it next week.
Yeah.
I'm mowing it again the next week.
Just stick with it.
That's what you do now.
Stick with it. Don't let the rest of the world impact you, because there is someone out there right now who's in a band that no one knows about, and they're going to be fucking blowing up by the time September rolls around. Yep. Every year you hear about a new band. Every year, there's nothing stopping you. As long as you want it, it's achievable.
Wow, Chaney.
It's true. It's true, because I feel like that. Because I look at so many people that I know who played music with me when I was 18, and the only difference between me and them is that, or if they're not playing music now, the only difference here is that I didn't stop.
No.
And I'm never going to.
Never back down.
Never back down. Never give in. Never give up.
All right. Dang, that's pretty good, Jenny.
All right. That was a good podcast.
Yeah, that was a good time. I actually thought of during the podcast, like, pretty much the best idea ever.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to tell you about it.
All right. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say it's so cool to hear your guys' voices.
It's really awesome.
That is so awesome. It brings a whole new level of like connection between us. And
well, a guy had asked us that on tour, like if we wanted to get to know the fans more, because we're always kind of one way talking.
Yeah.
And it's not something that we had thought of. But now that I'm hearing people call in and stuff, I'm like, this is pretty cool.
I know. I really do want to get to know you guys more.
So we get to hear your guys' voices.
Yeah, it's so rad.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep calling in. Call the Golden Lobster hotline, KoperCrabb hotline. We'll be back next week with our 100th episode.
Yeah, we're gonna do a live.
We're gonna go live.
So we'll see you motherfuckers next week.
Love you guys. Have a good week.
Peace.